Time now for Morning Rounds, our look at the medical news of the week. No matter where people work, there's always the possibility of a health emergency suddenly occurring. But how prepared are we to handle it?
Two new surveys commissioned by the American Heart Association looked at the issue. One asked employees from multiple fields about their level of first aid and CPR training. More than 85% thought that this type of training is important to keep the work environment safe. However, 33% said they'd never received such training from a work environment or any other source. CBS News contributor Dr. Tara Narula is here to tell us more about the survey. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Dana.
So multiple industries, when they were looking at this training, what did the results show?
So this is so important because one of the worst things you can feel is that helpless sense that somebody is down and I don't know what to do. And in fact, there are about 10,000 cardiovascular arrests that occur every year in the workplace. So this is really a big gap that can be filled by employers to improve workplace safety. CPR can double or triple survival rates when done effectively. So when they looked across industries, what they found is that there are big variations. So education, 63% of the workers in education said that they got training from their current employer. That is opposed to about 19%, for instance, in the hospitality or service industry. So again, big variations, and also 55% of those who said they got trained, it was not from their current employer. So a lot of room for improvement.
Tara, if employers offer training, did the survey show that employees actually want that training?
They do want it. Yeah. Overwhelmingly, the majority, over 90% in this survey, said they would want the training. They felt it would improve their ability to deal with an emergency. And not many of them expressed hesitation about getting training. About 46% said they would have no hesitation. And if there were those that did express hesitation, it was because they would have to either come to work early or leave late, or maybe they felt uncomfortable practicing in front of colleagues or had lack of management support.
Yeah, along those lines, was there a certain way that they wanted to get it, online or in person, anything like that?
You would think maybe online because that's easier, but in fact the majority wanted to get it in person, hands-on, in a classroom type setting. And one of the other things this survey found is that employees said that if their jobs offered this, that they would feel like they trusted their employer more. They would feel more positive about their employer and more likely to stay with them longer. So, you know, this is really a great opportunity for employers, because what you don't want, and what usually happens, is something happens that's bad and somebody dies or suffers a cardiac arrest, and then suddenly the change happens in the workplace.
Right. Be proactive instead of reactive. We move on to our next topic, which is childhood obesity. According to the Centers for Disease Control, from 2011 to 2014, around 17% of children and adolescents aged 2 to 19 were considered obese. That equates to about 12.7 million children nationwide.
This week, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force released its updated recommendations on screening children for obesity. Tara, what did the force recommend?
So the recommendations are similar to those in 2010, and that is that children 6 or older should be screened for obesity. And if they're found to be obese, then their doctor should refer them for comprehensive, intensive behavioral interventions. And that's been shown to help improve the maintenance of weight loss if they get over 26 hours over the course of 2 to 12 months. And it's so important because we know that about 80% of those children who are obese will go on to become obese adults. They're at risk for depression, sleep apnea, asthma, cardiovascular risk factors, teasing, bullying. Very important.
I lived this, so I know this very well. When you talk about those interventions, what does that mean? What does that encompass?
So they talked about targeting the child alone or the parent alone or both together, talked about supervised physical activity sessions, educating them on nutrition and diet, reading food labels, which I do with my 5-year-old daughter. She knows how to read the label. And really teaching them about limiting screen time, limiting access to tempting foods, and goal setting. So, you know, kids are really sponges. They want to learn, they can learn, and there's no reason we shouldn't be targeting them. This is one of the best tools and skills we can give our kids. It will help them for the rest of their life.
There's no doubt about it. Finally, we're going to walk into the future. Years from now, if you ever need help getting around, it could be from the form of an exoskeleton. Research published in the journal Science shows the development of a personalized exoskeleton system. It can adapt to the way you walk, even helping to minimize the energy your body spends.
It was a small trial, but results showed wearing this exoskeleton on just one ankle reduced average energy expenditure by about 24%. They hope in the future this technology can help improve the mobility for a range of people, from those suffering from strokes to injured athletes. This is really remarkable.
Yeah, so it's not just about creating a bionic human, but it's really about helping those who've had injuries or accidents. And the nice thing about this one is that they tailored it to the person. So some of these exoskeletons, if they're not individualized, they actually can cause you to increase your energy expenditure. But this one, because it works with your body, actually decreases the amount of energy you're expending.
Great information. Dr. Narula, thank you.